Hello and welcome my friends, back again with more Tearlaments content. Today we're going to do a few test hands as some of you have been asking for that, and now I'm going to deliver on that. Also, I'm going to show you all at the end a combo line featuring Visa Samsara. People have been asking about that as well because obviously the current list that I'm playing and like dabbling with till we get further support is the family list, right? With the Visa Starfrost and the Mannadiums and the Scareclaws, right? All of them linked together for more Tearlaments fun and action. And as such, there's a line with the Visa Samsara that, I'm not too fond of, but we're going to talk about and I'm going to show it to you at the very end of the video. So stay tuned for that. And without further ado, let's get right into some test hands. Okay, my friends, you already know the deck profile. If not, check out my channel. You will find out all the secret sauce about Visas and Tearlaments and how they team up to deliver devastating boards that our opponents can't deal with all the effects and all the bling bling, obviously from yours truly. Now, again, as I said just a couple of moments ago, we're going to go into some test hands before I'm going to show you a 1 card or 1.5 card Visa Samsara combo that is decently good. But again, we're going to talk about that one in a bit. And now let's give the deck a good shuffle, right? Obviously, you can be as rough as you want with your sleeves, but as these sleeves are quite costly, I'm just going to opt into a pile shuffle, and we're going to see each other in a moment. So okay, we're nearing the end of our shuffling action. Let's just do some more wildish shuffling, and then let's get into it. Obviously we have the more or less 1 card combo line with the Rimheart, but let's see how we can extend and go into some place. If maybe that's not an option, let's just grab some random cards from out the deck. And that's our 5 starting hand, and let's get into it. So first card is the Beast King, not that helpful. Destrudo, okay. Tear Cache, and Meta Noise. Well, that is... I'm not gonna lie, that is a pretty terrible hand. Well, I mean, we could end on SP, we could end on Baron. This hand is just pretty bad. Obviously, we are hoping for a good mill. So with this hand, again, we have the question, summon Tear Cache, what do we banish? Either the other Tear Cache or the Meta Noise. Honestly, I think we're going to banish the other Tear Cache. It doesn't really help us much more in hand. The Meta Noise, if we're getting a Tearlament monster on board, or if we're stuck with a Tearlament monster like the Tear Cache, then at least that is something. Not to mention it's a bluff, right? The second Tear Cache in hand doesn't really offer us much more. So we're going to banish that. Banish here, banish there, banish here. And then we're going to summon. The zones with this list, not as precarious as with the previous one, but that's still something. And then we're going to mill 3. Okay, that's good. Actually, let's give it a shuffle, otherwise you might not believe me. I've already gotten comments like that. Hi, what do I get for faking test hand video? Anyway, we get Sulliek anyway, and we get Rhinoheart. Okay, that's obviously pretty nice. So Pearl Rhino, sadly, our world goes down. And then the question is, in what order do we do this? Because, we currently have the target for the Rhinoheart, but we could add another, a better target to our hand. Actually, a target which would allow us to instantly fuse away, but is that actually something that we want to do right now? Yes, that is something that we want to do right now. Rhinoheart, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Sulliek, and with that we're going to get any tier name into our hand. At this point, it doesn't really matter. Let's just get Halfness into our hand with Sulliek, and let's hit it with a shuffle. And then, with that out of the way, Rhinoheart is going to... actually, Rhinoheart summons first, and then the chain resolves whatever. And then, his original target obviously was Meta Noise. Doesn't help us at all. Now we're going to send Halfness. And then in a new chain, Halfness is going to activate her effect. And Rhinoheart is also going to activate the effect. Or rather, let's talk about the material that we obviously have. We have the Rhinoheart with a Dark, and we have the Beast King of the Swamp. Sadly, we don't have another Aqua, so that is a bit of a problem. We can go directly with Havness, Rhino Heart, Beast King. That could be a Kaleido. That's not really what I'm looking for. I'm obviously always looking to summon out the Queen. Well, obviously, that is something that my mind is always well focused about. So that's that. So the question is, like, if we now send another just basic Tearlaman's name to fuse, we actually don't have that much material to fuse into, right? We could fuse with our Destrudo, but that's not really what I'm looking at. We don't really have fusion material, that's the problem, right? I'm looking to summon Destrudo, right? Because right now our current setup would be Baron plus Lulu, which is, well, that's pretty good. Baron plus Lulu plus Meta Noise. So yeah, the Rhino Heart here sending something is not really all that useful, right? We don't actually need it. I think we're just sending the Tear Cache here. Actually, we could have like changed some stuff, but in this case, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, and then the Havness and the Mod Dragon hand are going to obviously go on the our deck, and then we're going to summon the Queen of the Tearlamans, the Queen of our little adventure time of our sweet Pearl Rhino. It is Lulu. Lulu has graced the field, and with that we are already like winners in my book. In a new chain, we are going to mill 2, actually 2 here. Yeah, a dark and, well, a random spell. Again, not too bad, right? Not getting anything annoying. And now it's going to be painful. We're going to pain half of our life points to summon Destrudo, targeting the Rhino Heart, and then he becomes a level 3, and these two are going to then go into a Synchro 10, and we're going to summon. I mean, this would look the best. Don't summon this here, right? Because of that zone. That zone. But actually, let's summon it here. You can see it better. Still looks good, right? Yeah, just pay attention to the anima zones, especially in the current format. Yeah, that is quite something. And then, yeah, we're going to set the Meta Noise. And yeah, that's it. Our hand was not the greatest, but we still ended up with a great or decent end board, I'd have to say. Does it beat everything? Does it beat perfect setups? Probably not, but that's one iteration. Let's go into the next test hand right away. Okay, my friends, so after a bit of more pile shuffling and, well, swapping, we're going to go right into the next hand. Let's take this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, that's going to be our next hand. Hopefully we get something a bit more in the Visas and Mannadium line. Otherwise, it's like you wouldn't even notice that these cards are in the deck. Okay, a Sulliak, a Scream, a Beast King of the Swamp, a Terraforming, and a Reichphobia. Well, 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 if this isn't a hand of all times. Yeah, let us think, right? We can start with Terraforming, and that will give us our lovely home, or Pearl Rhino will descend. Really looking forward to the QCR Pearl Rhinos. These ones have served me well. Bought them for horrendous prices upon release. I mean, let's not think about Yu-Gi-Oh! Investments, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, we're obviously not activating Pearl Rhino at the start here, because that's what we want to end with. So Reichphobia is going to be what we lead with. The main character, the Visas, or the Rykard. The problem with Rykard is, like, sure, we can normal summon him and get the spell, which I think, again, is the best way to go about this. Because, in contrast to that, what does Visas do? Visas on its own, with no other like follow-up setup, is a bit weak, right? We have nothing really that we can summon and like destroy. We have some options, but these plays are rather short-lived. In comparison, Rykard at least gives us material, right? Because once he's a body on the board, right, that we can use, and then he becomes another body on the board. With a rival, we can revive him. So as much as Visas is cool, I don't really see how, yeah, we're doing much more with him. We don't even need to shuffle all that much. No, we should start with the normal summon of Rykard, so that we add a rival to our hand as fast as possible before we get into our mills with the Tearlaman's cards. That is something That is true with many of these decks, right? If you have targeted mills or targeted searches, you should usually do them first and then do your generic mills. There are cases with Rhinoheart, for example, where this is a different thing, right? Where you can target a certain, where you have options between like all 3 of the tier names, then you can just mill and then see, okay, did you hit the name or not? And then you can mill an additional name or the name that you wanted for the entire time. But generally, if you have options to search before milling, you should do that first. So let's normal summon him just here, should be fine. And then we're going to add the Arrival to our hand. Now we're giving the deck not the best shuffle because we are going to activate Pearl Rhino anyway. Activating Pearl Rhino, and with it we are looking for, I'd say the best girl in the main deck, Sharon. Probably not too controversial. I mean, special summoning herself is pretty useful. Merle, I mean, has some use, but without Elf, with Sprint being kind of bad, Merle, well, she's cute. Let's give her that. Now with Sharon, before we activate her though, I think we should make sure that we have screen online so that we're not, that I'm not missing anything. And then, activate Sharon to special, discarding the Beast King. And then Sharon and Scream are going to mill 3. Let's see, Rimheart, okay. Rimheart actually not too bad. No, actually, doesn't really do much. We need visas for the fusion. Okay, so far not too good. Yeah, this is catastrophic. This is pretty bad. Okay, let me think. What do we do with this? Well, I guess with hindsight, maybe now adding visas was the better idea. We milled Rimheart, right? We could at least have gone into our fusion, into our Astrolaut, but now that's sadly not an option anymore. We have a bunch of like fusion material, right? Dark Aqua with the Nessie, so that's at least something, but we don't have that much setup for fusion, sadly. But it is not that bad, right? Okay, so at this point we have, I think, 2 ideas here. One is, where is it? Going into Time Thief Redoer, right? We have the option actually to activate Time Thief Redoer immediately and then fuse into Kaleido Heart and then get the Redoer obviously back in the end phase. So like this would be our end board, which I think it's not too bad. It's not too bad, right? Like using Redoer proactively in your turn, especially with a tier name underneath it, of course, is not to be underestimated. But because we have Arrival, I think we can get to just a simply better end board. With that, let me show you. We're going to link away Rykard. And we're going to, link into the Lightheart. Lightheart effect, obviously kinda dead. We have the Rykphobia in our grave. But doesn't really matter. We're going to use the Arrival. Go back with the Rykard. And then Rykard and Lightheart are going into SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight. Hard to see, maybe here. Again, hard to see, right? Obviously these playmats are cut off for whatever reason. Let's just place it somewhere here. And that's it. Obviously, it's a Link 2, right? We could have made IP, but we don't have other material that we could like IP away into SP in our opponent's turn. So that's not the best option. Cross Sheep, an idea, but I think that's way too greedy, and our graveyard doesn't even have like something like Diviner. Obviously, we don't play that anymore, or a Rhino Heart. So yeah, Cross Sheep also not an option. So simply just going into an SP. So we have the SP banish, and what does this mean here? What is this field? Sharon obviously looking kind of cute at our opponent. If they use a monster effect, that's what we're hoping for, and we use Sulliek, pop the Sharon, and then Sharon with this here is going to fuse into Kaleido Heart. The only issue is Kaleido Heart, because it was made during our opponent's turn, or rather, because it was made with Saliek, we can't. We could pop the Kaleido Heart with our Pearl Rhino to then shuffle and get the revive, get the next fusion, right? All that good stuff. But then we lose the pop of Pearl Rhino. So, yeah, it is in that case, right? The other line where you make Kaleido in your turn with the Redoer effect, a bit better in this area, but we have an SP Little Knight on top. So this is maybe a bit matchup dependent. If you think getting full 100% use out of Kaleido and Pearl Rhino, if it's a trap player or something like that, where you need the pop, then the previous line with the Time Thief Redoer would have been better. But in general, I think versus most monster-based strategies, making the SP Little Knight here is probably the better board. So in the end, yeah, Kaleido, SP Little Knight, right? Kaleido in their opponent's turn after they've used the monster effect that we've negated. We have a mill 3, we have this, obviously a pop, which, I mean, we're likely going to pop our own card to then make benefit of both Kaleido effects, and so on and so on. Let's get into the next test hand though. Okay, and probably the last test hand. I already look at the time, it's going to take so long. That's because I always think I have to explain stuff, but probably I don't. But then there are some people who are asking questions in the comment section, so, well, that's the purpose of, I guess, test hands, right? To explain the thought process behind our actions. If I'm like explaining too much and rambling on too much, then just let me know. I will shut up more in the future, and I will just play cards, and then I'm going to say, oh yeah, cards have been played. Anyway, probably last test hand. Let's hope for some Mannadium stuff, because yeah, otherwise that would have been just a bit sad here so far. Okay, we have Meek, so that's at least something. Meek not only works with Rimheart, but also with like any Heart monster. Heart monster obviously 15, 21 in the stat line. And we have Reichphobia, so that's access to that 3 times. Now we have seen the Beast King of the Swamp in our hand. I only play 2, so that's just great luck. And here is also the great Sharon and a Rhino Heart. This hand is cracked, but let me think about it for a second. So after a moment of pondering, I think we have to start with the same principle as last time. Reichphobia or Searchers, what are they going to get? Cards that we don't want to mill. In this case, it's an easy choice. I think with our setup, we don't need Reichheart because we don't want to waste our normal summon. We have Rhino Heart, which is like, as much as he's not as good anymore as a normal summon till a certain someone comes back from the ban list. Yeah, he's still a better normal summon than just Reichheart. So yeah, we're going to start with Reichphobia, and this is going to add us the main character of like the universe, right, to our hand. It's not the main character of our Telements world, right, because that is clearly the queen. It's just that's just a fact, right? So with that being the case, obviously, sadly, we have no Pearl Rhino access yet. And then from here, I would like to start with Sharon, I think. I think that's the best option. Let's get some millets in, and then we can adjust from there. We always have options to play the rest of our hand. So yeah, Sharon effect, discarding the Beast King again. Did I shuffle? I shuffled, right? Let's just do this. I think I shuffled, but let's just... I should not have shuffled. I mean, what the... yeah. Okay. 3 spells! Yay! Woo! This is exactly what we wanted. Okay. Yeah, where do we go from there? That is really bad. Really bad. Nothing. Not a single monster. Like, if we had at least a dark monster or anything, we could have played greatly from here. I think we have to make a change in our plans, right? I was just going for a bit of a shorter turn, but let's just show you the Mannadium combo, even if it's not with Rimheart. But first, let us grace the field with the Visa Starfrost. We're going to destroy Sharon to summon him, and then Sharon effect is going to trigger. And with the Beast King of the Swamp, we're obviously, like you always know, right? If I have the chance, we're going to summon the one and only Beautiful Lulu. Yum, 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 yum. And then from there, we can already special summon Meek, but we can also just normal summon the Rhino Heart, right? Meek special summons when you have Visas or Halt Monster, again 1521. And then from there, obviously, Rhino Heart on a normal summon is triggering his effect. Sadly, we have nothing in grave that we could easily fuse with. And yeah, our field is also not really enabling too much, right? We have no Dark Monster or anything like that, which would allow us for a Mod Dragon play or something along those lines, which would really be great here. So with that being the case, I think we're just going to send a Miltank, right? Again, we have no fusion plays here, and we're going to go into some weirder Mannadium-esque lines. So I'm like not even hoping to mill something great, because that would just be weird. Yeah, obviously nothing, but that's all right. Now let me think and hope that I'm not doing this wrong. So Rhino Heart and Meek together into the kit with a different drip. That's going to activate effect, summon back the Meek, and then we're going into the Visas, the other Visas, right? The brother, or actually it's the same card with just more drip. And now I'm thinking of, do we add Calarium here? I think we do add Calarium, right? So yeah, effect, adding the Calarium. I hope that's correct. I'm kind of winging it, right? I mean, I guess that's the point of test hands, but this is just a line that I've not seen. So yeah, that's going to add us a card. We don't want Meek. I think we want Meek actually in deck. So we're going to add Rimheart for follow-up. I don't know, for something. And now I think, yeah, and now we have to link these two away to summon Cross Sheep. Where's this? Here next to the sword. Cross Sheep, say hello. Ma. And then in our graveyard we have to, yeah, we don't have anything else, right? Yeah. So we have to banish then the Visas and the lovely Rhino Heart to summon the Astrolabe, right? We can't use the cards in hand. Yeah, just making sure. And then Astrolabe being summoned under Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep is going to summon back the Meek, and this part is all too familiar. We're going to use Astrolabe's effect to destroy the Meek, and then Meek and Calarium are going to trigger, summoning back a Meek from grave and a Meek from deck. Where's the second one? Here. So with this, I think the easiest play, obviously, like the zone placement maybe wasn't the best here in my part, from my part, but yeah, I think we're just going to go into an IP, and I think that's going to be the end of our turn. Very sad that I summoned the Meek in defense position, right? You didn't saw that. So yeah, that's going to be the end of our turn. In the end, somehow we ended up exactly where I kind of wanted to be. IP, Cross Sheep, and Meek. Yeah, similar to the combo tutorial that I showed you at some point in the deck profile it was. Here obviously, Rimheart in hand, not really for follow-up, right? Both Meeks are more or less in graveyard. IP and Cross Sheep can go into an SP Little Knight. I mean, I guess IP and whatever, right? IP and Meek go into SP Little Knight, and then we can summon something back. Is there anything good in the grave? Not really. Yeah, nothing. But I guess we could summon back another Meek. Yeah. So that would be not one option. To just go into SP and then SP and Lulu. I mean, they're just going to deal with everything. Alternatively, I mean, just using all of these three to make a 3 material Appaloosa, right? So this, going to make a 3 material Appaloosa. can you see that? Like this. So again, these are our options. In 3 material Appaloosa or an SP Little Knight, obviously that's the potential of the IP to like, adapt to the situation. But in any case, we have won because we have summoned Lulu, and yeah, somehow we managed with this weird hand of having Beast King of the Swamp in our starting hand all the time. Well, I guess the positive thing is, yeah, with him we get to Lulu. Again, the Rimheart in hand sadly doesn't do anything anymore. But yeah, in the end we managed to do some Visa-esque hand. And now let me show you the Visa's Samsara and what this boy here can do for tier. Okay, so lastly coming to the Visa's Samsara 1 card, or rather 1.5 card tutorial, right? You need 1 spell or trap card, that's not a field spell, and obviously the Visa's Samsara. That's about it. And let me show you where this goes for you. So you're just going to send it, normal summon the Visas, and then from there we're going to link him away for the Light Art effect. Going to add the Reichphobia to hand, activating the Reichphobia, adding the Reichheart, specialing the Reichheart because he's adjacent to the Light Heart, adding the Arrival, activating the Arrival, summoning back the Visa's Samsara. Now, Samsara is a tuner and yeah, Reichheart is not. So now you would think that we are making the Amritara, but sadly Amritara needs a light non-tuner, so that's not the case, right? Samsara is a light himself. So yeah, that's just part of the issues here, right? Anyway, these two are going to synchro into, yeah, let's just call it Diabolantis, the Menacing Mantis. Now you ask yourself, what the hell is this guy here in my deck? An insect monster? Yeah, this guy has an effect to send an insect into the graveyard, and it's going to be the Fusion Parasite, which, I mean, I think you can guess where this is going. And then in our graveyard, we're going to banish the Reichheart and the Samsara. A good thing about the Samsara, well, he's going to be treated as Visas. That's the reason why we were able to link him off into Lightheart, and that's the reason why now we can banish these two to go into the Astrolaut. Just slap him there. And then we're going to activate the Menacing Mantis effect. We can target himself and he becomes a tuner, and a non-tuner that are both level 8. Where is this going, you ask? And yeah, we're going to summon the big red dragon, or rather the old red dragon, the Ultimaya Tzolk'in. And yeah, that's obviously where our spell and trap comes into place. We're going to set it to activate its effect, and that's going to summon us the Ancient Fairy Dragon, the AFD. Let's summon him here maybe, where it's a bit more visible. Hopefully I'm not fucking up my zones right now, but well, we'll just adjust. Regardless, with his effect, we're going to destroy our field spell to get Pearl Rhino. Pearl Rhino effect, going to add Rhino Heart. AFD effect, special summon a level 4 or lower from hand. Rhino Heart effect, when special summoned, send Merrily, and Merrily, or doesn't have to be Merrily, right? You get it, right? Send a tier name, and Fusion Parasite go back into the deck, and that's going to summon out Lulu. And that's about it in the 1-card combo department. We have a bunch of cards now onto our field. Sadly, in this 1-card combo, right, we don't have any level 4 lower monster in our graveyard right now. So, like, if you have any extenders here at this point, you could have gotten into Cross Sheep before you fuse, right? So, like, that's an option, right? If you make the Cross Sheep in the zone above it, and then it's like you go from there. Obviously, that's a play that you could have in mind if you're trying out the Visa's Samsara line yourself. And now from here, even without like using the Cross Sheep and extending even further, we can obviously do our usual like game and like, I don't know, just link stuff away for an IP, and maybe from this point you just wait. You could have obviously, a better move is to summon him in defense position. Doesn't matter. And then you have IP and like 2 cards. Again, any random spell or trap, that's pretty mandatory. Otherwise you can't trigger this effect, which is obviously mandatory to get into the AFD, which gets us into Pearl Rhino, and you know what that did. And then obviously here again, we have the same options as always. Just go into IP, SP with whatever. Obviously I'd say the AFD, which is like obviously more useless. And on, you also have the potential to just go with everything into a 3 material Appaloosa. and that would be let's just go with that option, right? Because it maybe looks a bit fancier. Our endboard here, in our opponent's turn, IP into an Appaloosa with 3 material and a Lulu and a Polar Rhino. Just from the one Samsara plus a Swallow Trap that you can set. I'd argue that is reasonably good, but the problem here now comes. Why is this not viable? Okay, now in case, well, you don't know these cards, or in case you don't know why Visa Samsara has not made the cut for me especially, and for many other tier players, yeah, first we start with the cards that we need to play in order to make this strategy viable. First, you already see 2 extra deck cards. Our extra deck at this point is just, it's super tight, right? If you're not playing the Mannadium line, then the entire Visa Samsara is just also getting a bit weaker. But okay, let's cut out all the Mannadium stuff, right? Let's cut out the Trisutka and the Amritara. Are we cutting out Amritara if we're playing a tuner? Not really. So yeah, you have to maybe get rid of the Lightheart. Oh no, we can't because he's needed for the combo, right? So the problem arises that we need to play a bunch of cards, right? These two also here, you see the names, right? These two are also needed to make this combo viable. So if you're thinking about playing this or not, you need to have space for 4 extra deck cards. I've already made the decision to play these two because we're playing with Mannadium right now. But in general, like this needs 4 extra deck cards. 2 of them, okay, in a normal Visa's tier deck, do something. But yeah, these 2 are just very niche, right? And the Ultima Izol can, I mean, in case you don't know, you need 2 monsters level 5 or higher that have the same level, and one is a tuner and one isn't, right? How often does that regularly come up in a normal playthrough, in a normal test hand, right, from tier elements? And let me tell you, not all that often. So getting into this card without having like the Visa Samsara full combo is just, yeah, very rough and very unlikely to come up. So this card is a very dead cat in your extra deck if you're like going for this. But maybe one is a reasonable sacrifice that you can make. Well, yeah, maybe. And then we have the Mantis, which, I mean, it gives you access to a fusion substitute, which, I mean, it's not that bad. It helps you getting into Lulu, which is, like, honestly, the goal of my life. Okay, let's take a step back. But still, the card gives you a fusion substitute card, which, okay. Okay, but the card is also a Dark Insect. Dark is so good, same with him. But Insects just doesn't help us, right? The Beast Kings that we are playing, they're at least Aqua. So that's just infinitely better than like Insect. So yeah, that's the problem, right? You need to play this guy here, which it's not awful, right? It's just worse than the fusion substitute that we've been playing for a while now. And the Mantis, again, why would you go into this and go into a fusion substitute and then you still need to get into the fusions, right? Then you still need the access for your Tier Elements cards, which this doesn't give you, right? It just eats up resources. Whereas if you have the potential to go into like a Synchro 8, in most cases you can just make Amritara, which gives you access to like nearly every tier card that you like really want to, right? So comparatively, like one is for consistency, other is for like shinier endboards. So yeah, that's also, it's just not preferable to play. So let's get to the man himself, the Visa Samsara, and why he is not the most amazing dude. Yeah, his graveyard effect, you need the Visa's Starfrost in your graveyard, which, I mean, in case you're wondering, we only play 1 because he's not the best card. We need him, and 1 might come up here and there as like a positive impact, right? That's the reason why we play him, also for combos, but yeah, playing more to have Visa Samsara's graveyard effect lives in our Tier Elements mill deck, yeah, just not that amazing. And then the other only benefit he has is, well, yeah, he is a name replacement for Starfrost, which, and I mean, that's not too bad, right? Our Tier Elements cards here, like Scream, for example, they also say Visa's Starfrost, right? Which this guy covers. So at least in that case, it's not too bad, but to just have a normal summonable Visa Samsara, Visa Starfrost name, it's just, in most cases, not good enough. Unless you can guarantee the full combo, which I'd argue that is pretty nice, that is not too bad. But if you think about it, our end board here, what was it? Lulu plus Apollousa. In comparison, our Mannadium end board is Baron plus Apollousa, right? Easier said, obviously we're playing with the IP lines, which give it a bit more bite. The question you need to ask yourself, like the end boards, okay, comparable to our normal Visas Mannadium stuff. But do you want to play cards like Fusion Parasite? Visas Samsara, is he really all that much better, or is it worth it to play him instead of like the Mannadium stuff? Which, I mean, they can go way further than just Baron plus Apollousa if you have like more extenders, where this board here, I mean, you have already fused, you have used most of your cards. Are we going some places? You also need to play 2 very fringe extra deck cards versus just 1, which, is it actually all that fringe, right? I mean, I think it's just way better in comparison, not to mention that it's like literally kit. So maybe that helped you into understanding why the Visas Samsara line with like the aforementioned cards, like, I mean, it gets you somewhere. It's neat to know about it. It's neat to have it on your radar if at some point like Tier or Visas gets like some different types of support. But for now, if I want to play like a Visas Tier, I just want to go with the Mannadium line. I think it's just way more consistent, and the cards just work well in different kinds of situations, whereas the Visas Samsara, in my eyes, if you're not going for the 1 card combo, or rather like 1.5 card combo with the spell trap, then you're kind of stuck. Okay, that was, yeah, something. I mean, hope you enjoyed it. Hope I didn't fuck up too much. And again, it's the classic recording at 3 a.m. Don't do that. Get some sleep, and hope you all take care of yourselves. Till the next time, my friends, smash that like button like you're going to smash your bet if it's 3 a.m. And yeah, take care. See each other next time. Bye bye.